All right, well, Cheryl Tan is here with her monthly look at local businesses that have made a name for themselves not only in Hampton Roads, but also around the world.
Well, what's funny is people who pass by the Liebherr building in Newport News may not even know what goes on there, but take a look. This is for the little kid in all of us. I want to show you this. One type of truck, the T282 mining vehicle, is constructed there. And by the way, this is a scaled-down model. It can carry 3 of the semi-trucks, which is standing right next to it. And take a look at how tiny that person is.
Wow.
That is also to scale. That would be your average 6-foot-tall guy. How big that guy is in comparison to the truck. Now, the Liebherr name is well known throughout the mining industry. The T282, the only one constructed in its Newport News location. We were able to see how it is made in Hampton Roads. Around the world, the Liebherr name is well known for high-quality, highly engineered mining equipment. In Hampton Roads, it's largely a well-kept secret. It has a home on a 75-acre site in Newport News, and we are getting a grand tour.
Here now is product manager Kevin Gilday, and people may not realize that so much is going on in these huge warehouses that you have right off of 664.
Yeah, and really the mining truck that we make here isn't well known in the area of what we build here. But at this site, we design, manufacture, and ship out the what was the largest truck in the world, a 400-ton mining truck.
400 ton.
Yeah, and it's hard to get the scale of how big that truck is. When people say they've seen big trucks on the road, they may be talking about a 100-ton truck or dump trucks you see at construction sites. But the trucks we're talking about, if you're close to 6 feet tall, you would only come up to about half a tire standing next to it.
This is the beginning of the T282, the pieces that kind of start the whole process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have suppliers that make some of the main fabrications for us, and we bring those pieces in, put it in a tack-up fixture, and weld it just enough that we can pick it up and flip it over. And once we flip it over, then we add on what we call the upper cross member, and that gets welded into place. Once that assembly is welded enough where we can pick up the whole piece, we'll put it in our frame rotator, and that allows us to spin the frame 360 degrees. And that's really necessary because we're looking for real high-quality welds. And the best way you get that is by having welders that are working in a comfortable position and have the weld in a flat plane.
You wouldn't normally see these trucks too often tooling around Hampton Roads, though, would you?
Yeah, you wouldn't even see our closest customers maybe a couple thousand miles away out west, in Arizona, Nevada, and Wyoming, at some of the largest surface mining operations in the world. You wouldn't see it anywhere close to here. We have about 500, a little over 500 people at this site, and because of the demand for this type of truck, we're going to, in the next few years, through multi-million-dollar expansions of our plant and of our administration building, we're going to add about 150 people in the next few years. Some of these joints are obviously very large, and we need to have a tight fit of a pin into a bore. So we'll take the pin, which can be, over 100 pounds, put it in a nitrogen bath. It'll shrink the pin. We'll be able to fit it inside the bore, and then when it comes back to a normal temperature, we'll have a tight fit. Because of the size of the equipment we're talking about, we'll have stations set up where we do a specific operation. They'll have a team working on one frame at a time, let's say. They'll do the job they need to do before they move that piece down the assembly line. And a lot of it is, it's mostly handmade. We used to do a full assembly of a truck and put it on tires, and we have a small track in the back of the plant. We used to run the track around, and you'd actually see, we've had some people comment that they could see it running around when they're driving on 664 because we're so close to the interstate. But we've seen the efforts in, we need to be able to move more trucks down the line. So we stopped assembling them completely, and we test subsystems, and then the first time the truck will be completely assembled will be when it gets to the mine site.
You may not see these large vehicles tooling around area highways. However, head out west and you may. If you do, know that they are made in Hampton Roads. That was a cool shoot, a really neat thing, and pretty cool too that the only place that makes the T282 is in Newport News. By the way, if you're wondering how much it costs, one of those trucks will set you back about $5 million. Ooh. But the mining industry is on a boom, as Kevin was saying, and they're hiring, so they're looking for about 150 new people to add to their group. We're going to link you to some information to the Liebherr website at thehamptonroadshow.com.
Awesome, great, cool, interesting. I like the little truck too that you brought.